The teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. Welcome to Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Unacademy is one of the best and fastest growing learning platforms. It provides live sessions with the best educators. Believe me, the best educators of the country. Along with this, live practice questions with educators where you can practice different questions directly with the educators. Also, weekly quizzes and live doubt clearings where you can test yourself. Batch and courses for class 9 to 12 by top educators on the platforms where total syllabus is covered. The courses are available for almost all these subjects. Now, how to join Unacademy subscription plan? Visit www.unacademy.com. What are the advantages of joining Unacademy? You get access to courseware from anywhere at any time. Combination of structure and freedom, effective time management, asynchronous discussions with classmates, immediate feedbacks on test, preferred pace in learning, sample paper solving. And this is affordable for everyone. You can go to 1 month, 3 month, 6 month or 12-month subscription. Use the code LE01 to get 10% discount. Welcome to Unacademy. This is CBSE Class 10 Science. Most important questions for board exams. Why these are most important? Because these questions have come again and again in the examination. The first question is, write chemical equation of the reaction of ethanoic acid with the following. So ethanoic acid, when it combines with sodium hydroxide or ethanol, and we have to also name, that is name of one main product of each reaction. This has come in 2016-2017. Now this is your ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid is CH3COOH. Now when it combines with sodium, it gives you sodium ethanoate or called as sodium acetate along with hydrogen. When it combines with sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. This is ethanoic acid. It gives you CH3COONA, which is again sodium ethanoate or sodium acetate along with water. The third one, when it combines with ethanol, that is CH3COOH, ethanoic acid, when combines with the ethanol, it gives you ester, also called as ethyl ethanoate, CH3COO C2H5 along with water. List 2 reasons for the appearance of variations among the progeny formed by sexual reproduction. This is the first question, then we'll take the other part also, which is the second part. So let us go along with the first part. List 2 reasons for the appearance of variations among the progeny formed by sexual reproduction. So when there is a sexual reproduction, that is Sambhog Kriya, then what are the 2 reasons for appearance of variation? Why the progeny or the next generation is having different appearance? So the major reason for this is, you can write like this, the major reason for the appearance of variation among the progeny formed by the sexual reproduction is first the crossing over, which is the process in which the DNA is exchanged between the homologous chromosomes during meiosis, and this causes variation in the progeny. The second is the progeny, that is the upcoming species formed due to sexual reproduction has characteristic from the mother as well as the father. Therefore, because of this, the characteristics differ and they result in the variations. Now the second part is for the plant. Name the part marked A in the diagram. What is this A? This is called the pollen grains. This A is pollen grains. How does A reach part B? How does A reach part B? And this is A reach part B through the process of pollination. There are various ways, method by which the pollination occurs. It can be wind, it can be some insect, it can be some titli, butterfly, etc. This bee, what is this bee? Bee is stigma of the carpel. Third is state the importance of the part C, which is this part, which is a kind of tube that take this stuff inside. So this C is called the pollen tube. This is called as a pollen tube, and it helps in reaching the male gamete from here to this space, which is the egg ovule. Next is what happens to the part marked D after fertilization is over. This question has repeated in 2014 and 2016. So what happens? This D, this portion, C, this portion. Now here D is egg. So after it fertilizes, the egg divides several times and form an embryo within this ovule. How do Mendel's experiments show that traits are inherited independently? It is repeated in 2016, 2017. So this Mendel, he was a scientist. So he first crossed pure tall plants. That is, he took the peas into account. Matar ka paudha. So the dominant traits are shown here and recessive traits are shown here. So when Mendel first crossed pure these tall plants, he found that only tall plants produced in the first generation, that is called F1. Dwarf means, long means this tall long, dwarf means short. No dwarf peas plant were obtained in the first generation of progeny, that is the coming species. When F1 tall plants, that is this one, were self-pollinated, Mendel got tall and dwarf plants in F2 generation, which is 3:1. So this shows that the traits are inherited independently. So this is how the operation occurs. You can have a look here, and if you want to show, you can show like this also. So this is the reason. List 4 stakeholders which may be helpful in the conservation of forest 2016-2015. So the local people living in the villages or near the villages, that is, this is a forest. Those who are living in the vicinity here, these are the stakeholders. That is, they have stake in the forest also, so they will be helpful in conserving the forest. Also, the industrialist who use forest produce as raw material. We know that all the primary activities, they involves either agriculture products or the raw materials from the forest. When we talk about industrialist, we are talking about the secondary activity, and secondary activity is totally dependent on the primary activity, which is the agriculture of forest product. So the industrialists are directly involved with the raw material which is obtained from the forest. Then the wildlife and nature enthusiast, that is those people, those activists who are involved, who are thinking about the forest and the wildlife, they are the stakeholder, along with the forest department of the government, the state government, central government. There is a department which takes care of this forest, and they are also the stakeholder. Now this question is repeated in 2012, 2014, 2015, and also repeated in coming years. So why is sustainable management of natural resources necessary? Out of the two methods, reuse and recycle, which one would you suggest practicing and why? So the answer here is, first is the management of resources in such a way that present day needs of the population are justified, as well as they remain available for future generation. That is, if you have 100 rupees right now and you spend it today and you have this for whole month, say, what are you going to do for the rest of the month? Same thing comes with the natural resources. Natural resources are limited. They take a long time to replenish themselves, and there are certain natural resources which take millions of years to be formed, like the minerals. So management of resources is very important, because right now the population, whatever it needs in a requisite amount, justified amount, they can use, but they need to keep something for the future generation. For example, if you have 100 rupees, spend say 2 rupees now. next day you can spend 4 rupees. Like this you can go for whole month, otherwise you will fall short of money, and that will be a real trouble. Then the type of management which encourages utilization of resources that meet current basic human needs, resources for the needs of future generation, means right now I am using it. What about my kids? Say for example, my kid is also having some of the natural resources, natural resources, but what will happen to the kid of my kid? He will be left with nothing. Right now we are using the petroleum, and in few years the sources of petroleum will vanish, or the nature will not be able to replenish. It takes 1,000 million years. So this is why it is important sustainable management of natural resources. Now reuse is better. Why? Because if you talk about reuse and recycle, reuse is better because reuse does not consume energy. If you want to recycle it, you have to have the used material, then you have to put all the effort, energy and money so that you can recycle it. So recycle takes money, it involves effort and also revenue, but reuse does not involve energy. So that is how you are actually not you are consuming, you are not spreading energy or thriving energy. Actually you are saving energy, and the energy saved is energy produced. Now coming to the sustainable management, as we are talking about, it encourages all form of growth that are needed to meet basic human needs while conserving natural resources for the future generation. We just discussed about this, because our natural resources are exhaustible, they are limited, they are non-renewable. I'm not saying non-renewable, that means they will never be renewed. They will be renewed, but in million years. So the things which are available to us are fixed for some time. We need to keep it for long, for our future generation, not for 50 or 100 years, but for 500, 1000 years. We have to think about that. Our resources are being very overexploited. That is, a person in America, he uses everything than a person in Uganda. That is, the natural resource or the resource utilization by a person in the developed country is far more than the person who uses in any developing country. So the overexploitation, that is shoshan of resources, are taking place because of one more aspect, that is the growing population, and there is no equitable distribution of resources. As I said, the handful of people, rich people who have money in their pocket, powerful people, they are overexploiting the benefits. That is just for short-term benefits, gain or fun, they are using it. So it is necessary to have sustainable management. What is homologous series of carbon compounds? Write the molecular formula of two consecutive members of homologous series of aldehydes. State which part of these compounds determine their physical and chemical properties. Now this question is also repeated 2012, 2014 in recent years also. So a homologous series may be defined as the family of organic compounds having the same functional group. So the functional group is same, and the successive, that is the one, then the adjacent one, then the next one, that is the coming one, members of which differ by CH2 unit or 14 mass unit. Two consecutive members of homologous series, this is being asked. So you can, of these aldehydes is CH3CHO and C2H5CHO. A carbon compound is made up of two parts, RF. R is the hydrocarbon part and F is the functional group part. So this R, this is the hydrocarbon part, determines the physical properties of the compound, and this F, functional group, determines the chemical properties of the compounds. I can give you an example. You can give examples like this. For example, alkanes, the general formula is CnH2n plus 2. For methane, ethane, if you see the difference of these two, it will be CnH2n plus 1. I'll just give an example of this alkane. Say CnH2n plus 1. Now I'm taking N as 1. So C1H 2 into 1 plus 2 into 1. That is 2 into 1 is plus 2. So 2 into 1 is 2 plus 2. So CH4 is the first one. What will be the second one? Now I'm putting N as 2. So C2. What is there? 2 into 2 plus 2. So 2 to the 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. So C2H6. And this is what goes on like this. So that is why they are homologous series of carbon compounds, alkanes, alkenes, alcohol, carboxylic acids. What is vegetative propagation? Write two of its advantages. This came in 2011, 2012. After that also it has come multiple times. So vegetative propagation is practiced for growing some types of plants. There are certain types of plant where this vegetative propagation is used because plants grown by this method bear flowers and fruits earlier than the plants grown from seeds. So if seeds, say it takes 5 months, this vegetative propagation will give you the flower and fruit in 2 months. I'm taking an example. So plants grown by this method are genetically similar to the parent plant, and they have some characteristics this method makes, or this is important because the propagation of plant which have lost the ability to produce seed. So you just take an example, a plant is there and now it cannot produce seed. What will happen? How we are going to get the next offspring of this plant? Vegetative propagation. Survival rates of plants grown by this method is more than that of seed grown plants, or survival rates it should be. Now let me show you, this is how it is done. So this is a plant, we cut it in slant and now we try to grow it. Similarly here also, this is the way, cutting it like this and growing it using plant cuttings to produce plants from the existing plant. This is vegetative propagation. Explain AIDS. List any 4 methods of prevention and control of AIDS. So this has come multiple years. So this question is also important. AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Now this AIDS is a disease which makes a person immune system weak, and the immune system is that system which fights from the outer microorganism like viruses, bacteria, etc. So if your body gets weakened by this AIDS, that is, you are not able to fight with the outside viruses and you can say the diseases which are there in the environment. So HIV, it comes as HIV positive. There is a test. If you are HIV positive, that means you are carrying this AIDS. So there are 4 methods of preventing, and there are multiple methods actually of preventing and controlling the AIDS. First is avoid contact with infected blood. That means if the blood is infected, that is, blood has already HIV positive, and now someone else is using that blood, then it's highly possible that the person is going to get infected by the HIV. Now, whenever we are using syringe or any surgical equipment, if it is used on a person who is HIV positive and it is used on a person which is not, it is highly possible that this infection could get into the other person. Use condoms. It can be female condoms, it can be male condoms. Whenever you are having sex, use the condoms. That is, if you have one partner, it is okay. If you have multiple partners, just do sex but use condoms. Get tested and treated for STDs. STDs is sexually transmitted disease. So let me show you, HIV infection can be propagated or can be transferred through unprotected sexual intercourse if the partner is infected. If you don't know that your partner is infected or not, rather than having fun for 5 minutes and repenting it for entire life, use a condom. This is a transmission from mother to child in utero during delivery and breast milk. From mother to child, it will be transferred. And when the injected drug use infected blood or the products, like all those which can transfer from one body to another, this causes the HIV infection. Na, Mg, Al are the elements having 1, 2, 3 valence electrons respectively. Which of these elements have the largest atomic radius? So we have sodium, magnesium and aluminium. So sodium is the answer for the first part. The reason is the atomic size decreases from left to right due to the increase in the nuclear charge. This is the first explanation. NaMgL, which is the least reactive. So aluminium, Al is the least reactive. This question is also coming again and again. So the reason is the tendency to lose electron decreases from left to right. That is why aluminium is the least reactive. List and explain in brief 3 methods of contraception. Contraception means if you are having sex or if you had sex and it is possibility that you can be pregnant. What are you going to do? What are the possibilities? So there are 4 methods: mechanical or barrier method, or male or female condoms. This is the best. That is not non-invasive. Just use condom and you can just throw it. Use of hormonal preparations like the oral pills, eye pills, Saheli. There are pills which are effective for 72 hours. That means if you just had sex, then for these 72 years in between, you can take this pill. That is, a woman can take pill, girl can take pill, and she'll not be pregnant. Use of loop or copper T, that is IUCD. This is called intrauterine contraceptive device, IUCD or IUD. We call it as intrauterine device. Surgical method, that is invasive method for tubectomy or vasectomy, that is called nasbandi. This can also be done. I'll show you so that you remember more. These are the types of contraception. These are the barrier ones like condoms, spermicide, female condoms, the diaphragm, and the vaginal sponge. There are hormonal contraceptives, that is, you take it as a pill like this or as an injection. So the pill, the progesterone, only mini pill, the after pill map, the contraceptive patch in different forms, and the contraceptive injection or implant can be there. There is third thing which is called intrauterine contraceptives. It is placed inside the uterus so that this combination of male and female product cannot take place, that can create an embryo. Permanent contraception, just vasectomy, that is nasbandi. The sperm will not come out from the male part. And the tubal ligation, this is for females. Now here we have question number 11, but this question we are going to take in the next discussion. There are plenty of questions here, and these are the most important questions because they are being coming time and again in your board examination. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.